Good morning. This is day 4. This morning we are going to put together the robot for competition inspection this afternoon.
Yeah, okay.
Look at me, I'm early.
We're gonna go 3, 2, 1, go down, and then just like that.
Make sure to grab each other's wrists really tight. Anna, you probably know that, but Arwen doesn't, so.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2.
Move this in farther. You want to be close to the wrist because you're supporting the wrist.
We are here for team check-in today and robot inspection.
Oh, hey, look. They got the middle one angled this time.
This is the courses the kids will be running.
We got problems.
What's the problems?
It doesn't have a side piece.
Oh. We
What
gotta pick
doesn't
it up
have
in
a
the middle then.
No, not in the middle.
Well, here's the other thing is, these starfish could be put in orientation, I think. A different orientation. I think that's just basic.
No, I mean...
What I'm saying is, I think that either, like, it could be put in something like that, I think.
No,
No, it won't.
No, it's going to be however. So, okay, but wait, Nathan. Your hairpin goes like this, so why does it matter how those are?
Because
Sometimes
it slides out.
falls out. When it's to the
But
side,
if we do it sideways, it
hangs.
doesn't fall.
When it's
Ah.
like this, it just goes.
Okay, so how can we
Well, the other
adapt our
thing
claw?
is, we could be the second.
We're not going to the middle. Like, if we get it like this, it's stuck.
Okay,
And we're not risking it stuck. I'd
Right.
rather drop it than get it stuck.
okay.
We could make
But
it
how
the
can
last
we,
thing.
what can we do to the,
To keep it here,
yeah,
we're gonna
or is that a pretty narrow window?
smaller.
Here. Let's take a picture of it.
Well, hold on. Here's another thing. We could be like a different team that hasn't practiced or has picked that up. It could be it's altered. It could be that it's like, I don't know. There's so many variables in a room with lots of people. Swing to the right. Yeah, right is higher. Down. Left. Rise. Curve. This way, turn around. Come back. Right turn. Down. Up. Right turn. Left.
Nathan, is there anything else on this course that you're concerned about?
The only difference is just that.
Just the stars.
The colors and
Hey, here's another thing. Is
how
these
they
are
use-
wider than the other ones. I have a feeling.
Check-in time for the pool is at 12:30. They must be down on pool deck. Only 4 people can sit on pool deck. As a matter of accommodation, it's 2 kids, 2 parents, but it has to be 4 people. Okay?
I wonder if they're.
There we are.
Oh wait, that's actually not us. Oh wait, no it is.
Yes, it is. Open class. Yep. We are on the map.
I'm Dylan, and this is Danny. I'm Vice President of Robotics at Maryland. Like I said, we do the RoboSub competition. We're totally student-run, kind of like you guys, and our goal is to pursue robotics, not only for underwater submarines, but also we do ground-based quadrupeds and just general robotics research. So this is the actual pool. We'll head up to the top later. It looks a lot cooler up there. Feel free to come on in. Right here is the window that peers into all the cool stuff that they do. So there's actually a lot of research diving that takes place. And here, you can have maybe 5, 6 divers hanging out underwater doing space things for 2, 3, up to 6 hours at a time. How they do that is that the water is actually room temperature and you're able to simulate microgravity. So that spacesuit that's behind you guys, for a 160-pound person, is literally working. What that means is that there's foam all along the arms and the legs and the torso in such a way so that you neither sink nor float. And that's why this place is called the Neutral Buoyancy Research Facility. And that when you do that, you're basically simulating microgravity. It's so much cheaper than typical ways of simulating that, which is diving, nose diving with an airplane. That's also a way to simulate microgravity. That is not only temporary but expensive. This place is expensive, but you can do this for hours at a time. If anybody wants to come take a peek, feel free. You can actually see inside of there is an Apollo spaceship. They actually create a lot of the things here on Earth before they actually send them to Mars. So if you ever heard of the Curiosity rover, they actually made 2 of them, 2 exact replicas. One is here on Earth, simulating life on Mars, and then one's, of course, actually on Mars. And they do that for a lot of things. That's a typical NASA thing. We work closely with NASA. We also do a lot of graduate research and aerospace research as well. Yeah. What do you mean? That one right there? That's a very old project. This place is from like the 80s or so. So they still do a lot of research on the ones. That was trying to create something that a person can actually get into. So you would lay prone, and then from there you try and navigate through the space environment. And instead of using rocket thrusters, they use little propellers. It's a concept, and it's called the Ranger. That's cool. Yeah.
I have a 4-lane.
Yeah? I don't know if you can put that in space though.
I will not.
Yeah. Alright, let's head upstairs then.
The stairs.
Lose my legs.
Oh, wow.
It's 35. It's hard to tell from up here, but
How deep is that?
it's 35 feet. So all those stairs you just walked up is how deep it is, to put it in perspective. There's probably more people if you guys want to fill in this space. Is everybody can hear me? Is that everybody? So this is actually 300,000 gallons of water, just about. It's like an ocean. It's 35 feet deep. So all those stairs he's been up, like I said, is how deep it is. Pretty crazy. They do a lot of research here. So big teams diving, you can see over here, they put on their scuba gear, and then they go inside the space shuttle. And since they're simulating microgravity, they have a bunch of designs, concept designs for different joysticks to use. And something that they can say is, oh, when I pull this lever, it's too hard to pull, so my legs pick up because I'm in space. So that's something that they can make, oh, you make this lever easier. Or you need to give them some sort of grip elsewhere. That's part of the process of why we made these things on Earth before we just send them up in space. So we can actually test being in astronauts can get practice being in space, and engineers can see how astronauts will work in space on their tech. There's also a lot of graduate and aerospace engineering that goes on here. That's another room. It looks small right now, that's the seating. You can actually go as big as between the two flags in the touch boat. It's massive. And it's massive in such a way that at the bottom, it's actually open. You know how when you send stuff to space, balloons pop? Well, if you leave the bottom open, and that part is so large, it really stays at the top until the pressure difference is too great. And then it can actually start to prevent some of the healing. And that prevents it from breaking. Instead of breaking, you just have it gently float back down and reuse it. So then you got all this stuff. And then my club is right over there. That junkyard workshop, that's where undergraduates make a mess. We have the 3D printers over there. We'll do a walk around. And our robot is right there. Other NASA projects are hanging up as well. We like to hang things here. That is an old concept. This place is from the early 80s, so there's some early concept devices. The big umbrella thing is the concept for landing on Mars. And that right there is another human device similar to the Ranger, where that was honestly one of the first devices we used here. You would get inside, and you were trying to dock. You see the thing holding out in the front, you try to dock with your spaceship. So you use the thrusters that are water thrusters in this case, just to prove the concept of how to orient yourself. And the idea is to create kind of like an exoskeleton that astronaut can use. And that was cutting edge for 40 years ago. Now there's a lot bigger and better things in space. So do a little walk around. You guys are with us. Maybe anger and stuff as we walk by.
He said this weather balloon can fill between those edge of those two flags. Ooh, thank you. this is the one that was down below.
Yep.
Were you there when I took your picture? I took somebody's picture on this team.
I was not there, unfortunately. I was taking a final.
There was 3 guys that were out there that I seen.
Yeah. We just brought them back.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not sure how many of you guys saw us in the West Gym, but this is Cubo. We were over there saying hi to y'all, but we just brought him back to his resting home. The whole idea with this robot, I'll just give a quick rundown because I know you guys might have looked at him before, is you flip the switch and the robot has to do everything. So it has to shoot torpedoes, it has to navigate using sonar, it has to do a bunch of different things, all while we can't touch the robot. So we can't have a tether to it, we can't be connected, and if it ever surfaces above the water, we're disqualified. So that's a big, big challenge for autonomy, is being able to not only multitask, but aim your robot, fire at things. It's a lot of work. An example of a challenge, like I said, we actually ended up hosting it last year, so they had an extra one of these. These are supposed to be cut out, and this is a robber. Well, this is a cop actually, not a robber. And the whole theme was cops and robbers, so if you went on the right side of the gate, then you're a cop, and if you went on the left, then you're a robber.
Fun.
So in this case, you would navigate on the left side of the gate, now you're a robber, and you have to shoot the cop. So this star would be cut open as well as the circle, and you would have to find the star and shoot through it, and then you would get points. It's basically like first robotics, or like what you guys are doing, where when you complete certain tasks, you get points, and whoever has the most points at the end wins. Other stuff is this dollar sign, where we had to pick up bins and then put it on the dollar sign or on another. The bins are actually on that seat right there, with the purple handles. So we had to find the bins, pick them up, and then drop them on this dollar sign. And then some easier challenges were these sitting like on the top, floating on the water, and you had to bump into them. So you just have to do some image navigation techniques. And yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I can't talk much about the coding side of things, but talk about the design. It's pretty modular. It's kind of like a cube shape, that's what we call it, Cubo. So that we can have symmetric thrusters. We have 8 different thrusters, so we can get all different kinds of motion, pitch, roll, yaw, everything you want. And then we have our main electrical hull, which connects everything in, the battery, and then the front here is a camera. We're hoping to add a nice larger one in eventually.
Where's your torpedo shooter? Or is that on this one?
We're still building it, but
Oh, okay.
we actually have one of the designs right here, which is what,
Oh, you 3D
what
printed
Manny
it.
can talk about.
That's me.
Yeah, I'll leave it over to Manny.
Hey, so I do a lot of the mechanics for Cubo. I do specifically the torpedo launcher, right? And I guess I'll just talk about how the mechanism works. So this was the first conceptual design because, I me personally, when I like to design things, it's important to understand what exactly is going to work and what's not going to work, because you can have people like say, oh, we're going to have this entire huge mechanism, but if you don't know the iterative processes of how like the manufacturing is going to work out for it, then it's kind of like you probably have to rethink your design. So this is the torpedo launcher, and you see this is a stepper motor right here, and I don't know how familiar everyone is with 3D printers, but basically it uses, that is actually the stepper motor from my old 3D printer. It uses rotary motion and a linear stepping screw and a threaded rod to create rotary motion and turn it into linear motion, right? So I'm gonna use this broken piece of a torpedo because I can't see the other one. So how this works is you have essentially like a Nerf gun style thing where you need to pull back these, and that's done by the stepper motor going in the back direction, right? And there's going to be like a way for it to hook onto there, and to bring it back and to prime it. So for the competition, you have to shoot 2 torpedoes at 2 different targets. So you have to do them. They have to fire independently. So the first torpedo, on the back stroke, that's going to be all priming, and on the front stroke, you have this thing here that pretty much triggers these 2 things right here. And when it goes forward a little bit, it triggers the first one. As you can see, this mechanism here, it's an offset ramp. So going forward even more will trigger the second one. And then you can just bring it back and it'll prime itself again. And it does, the priming mechanism and all that stuff actually does work. We had to take apart the digital, the version that actually had that thing on it because, you know, originally we had the stepper motor all the way in the back, but for space reasons we have to put it into the front. So yeah, that's the basic mechanism for the torpedo launcher.
I have a question on that one.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you're in the water. Are those preloaded, and then how do they stay in and not fall out when you're maneuvering around?
So there's there's 3 magnets on the new torpedoes that kind of hold it lightly in place.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how, like, as you can see, it didn't pull back a lot. So any amount of jiggle forward, we're losing a lot of power on it. So
Yeah.
that's how we,
Okay.
yeah, keep it there. Yeah, what's up?
Where do you go print that out of so it doesn't dissolve in the water over time?
So PLA shouldn't be, shouldn't dissolve in water. I obviously I haven't sunken this in water for like hours at a time, but the biggest concern that we have is that, you know, in the hot San Diego sun during the summer, PLA gets soft after like 80 degrees Celsius. So we're going to be printing them most in ABS. But yeah, question.
I mean, it's a little degradable, but like, this is made out of PLA. You know, we made a last minute fix, new enclosure, like maybe a year ago, and it's been working fine. So it is biodegradable eventually, but it's very slow.
Okay.
That's good to hear because we did some looking and it was like, oh yeah, you got to be careful. And he was designing an underwater robot just purely out of and printing it out of PLA. So we were concerned about, do we have to seal it or protect it some way? So that's good to know.
Mm-hmm. So we're both mechanical engineers, so we do a lot of the manufacturing side. Manny runs all the 3D printing. In the Idea Factory, if you guys got the tour of that, they have free 3D printing and resin printing as well. So we're able to use that at our own leisure to 3D print different things. As well as I do my metal manufacturing, so I'm learning how to lathe. I use the water jet, I CNC, different things like that. So together, combined, we create the body, if you will.
So all your skills you're learning here have been put into Cubo.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is
that's awesome.
student-run club, so we work on what we want to work on.
That's awesome. I like it.
Impressive.
Yep. Did you want to show them your craft?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so.
Why? It's a
Alright.
robotic spider. It's a crab.
Yeah, I mean, you counted the legs, it's fair.
It needs to be red.
Well, that is, well, all the ones on, for Maryland, they're usually go by the
Oh,
blue crab.
that's true, you guys, yeah.
Yeah, also, this was the one they had on clear, this is the PLA they had in clearance. So,
I understand that
yeah,
too.
what you gotta do. So, this was made for my elective, bio-inspired robotics, and the reason why it's a crab, there's a lot of reasons. I planned this out kind of actually before I started the class. You get extra points for every extra leg past 4. So you can do a millipede, but I printed this on the closed resources, so I'm not going to be like 100 legs. But the idea for the it's a test is that you have to have this robot essentially walk in a straight line, and you have to use, you have to make the mechanism, but most importantly, you are supposed to use math and inverse kinematics and trigonometry to actually put in code for it. But since I'm a mechanical engineering major, I think it's important to be able to know what you're good at. I don't like math, so I'm just gonna pretty much sit here and model until it works. And let me see. This is actually the robot that was the most reliable out of all the other ones over every different surface, except grass, because it sucks grass up into the gears, which is always a problem. So as you can see, got a little bit of a kind of an arthritis kind of gait.
It's an old bot.
Yeah. But what's it called? The reason for that is because I'm taking machine design at the same time, and we kind of rushed us on the project, so I had to, I'll maybe tip over a bit, but I had to design the gears before I took the gear section of the class, and that ended up with gears that have a lot of play in them, but they get the job done, slow and steady wins the race, so to speak. So I'm gonna hold it up. Let me see. This is probably a really kind of creepy way to hold it up. Yes. I actually took a photo shoot with it, and I was just like. the entire time. My wrist got really, really sore.
Did Dad take a full roll of PLA?
No, it only took half a roll.
Okay, yeah.
Considering I had actually reprint a bunch of things. I'll just leave it on the floor. But yeah, it basically takes all the coding problems that would go with using individual servos to control joints, and it makes it into a mechanical engineering problem. I got the inspiration. Yeah, has anyone seen the kinetic sculptures called Strand Beasts?
Oh.
They basically. Oh.
Next sculptures. I'm trying to think of it. I've heard of it before.
Yeah. Well, basically, they just use they are really big walking mechanisms that use the air to essentially like wind up and then push themselves forward, and they have legs that kind of go like that. And so I used a mechanism called a clan mechanism that spins, that creates, this kind of walking motion here. I probably shouldn't wind up the steppers because they can, create a back voltage. But yeah, so instead of trying to learn how to do math, just kept on playing with 3D printers until something worked out, and it worked out. So yeah.
How many hours of printing?
Hours of printing? It must have been maybe 30, not including all of the reprints.
Oh,
so maybe 70.
Yep.
Yep.
Sound
And
familiar?
as you can see, like, there's a lot of play in the motors, and that's why it kind of like jerks around a little bit, because they don't lift their legs up all the way because of the play. So by the time the other ones fall over, the other ones are just kind of dragging sometimes. Yeah. So it's my robot Doja Crab, and pretty proud of it.
It's cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Yes, so study mechanical engineering when you go to college. You can hit stuff with a hammer and not do math.
It's really, really
Any other questions for us?
Have you guys gone to the tours of the Idea Factory or iReef yet? Okay, well that's pretty much, this is where like all the messy stuff happens, but all kind of like the glamorous engineering stuff, all the printers, all the fancy stuff's over there. They got the Spot Dog over there too, from Boston Dynamics.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we can hit that one.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was cool.
That's one thing about us. We're not only doing submarine robotics. We're also doing ground-based. So we're trying to make our own spot, pretty much. We don't have it here to show you, but
Yeah.
we pursue a lot more than just sub-based robotics. So I think that's all we got for you guys. We don't have any demos, so tour goes kind of short. But over there is an astronaut spacesuit if you want to get up in and take a photo. You can ask me any questions you want. Feel free to look around a little bit more.
How about after college? What's your goal?
What's my goal after college?
What do you want to be?
I'm in a robotics minor, but I also do climate change research on carbon sequestration, so I'm hoping to kind of combine them in some sort of business. I'm not really sure. I'm interested in a lot of things, so...
What about you?
So I just like engineering and like.
I like we both laugh at
something.
the question. Like,
I know,
oh.
like this is a great. Like, I thought I was getting ready for this question for like my next family reunion, but this is good practice right now.
All right, we're giving you practice. Good.
Yeah. So I actually joined the club because I'm actually very interested in exploring the deep ocean and oceanography in general. I've been researching companies like Oceaneering and stuff, and that's why I was like really surprised. Like, wow, this is right up my alley. I joined a year ago. I hope to do that, but like honestly, anything engineering and problem solving focus is right up my alley.
Cool. Thank you for having the tour.
Thanks,
It was
guys.
cool.
Yeah, no problem.
Looks like a fun program.
Oh, there's a turtle. Does the turtle fly? Does it work?
Oh yeah, no worries. I printed that one.
Here, I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Here you go. It's a good angle.
Oh, cool.
So you can do so much with 3D printing. 3D printing is going to replace all sorts of manufacturing one day.
Yeah, the shell is made out of wood, PLA.
So all that's printed separately and then assembled, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
that's actually wood?
It's wood flour PLA, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, this is the first vegan 3D print.
Wow.
Get ready for that.
Nice. Turtle friendly.
Yeah,
Let's see.
There's a club over there, and their robot's designed like a turtle.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you guys seen it.
Me? Recreational.
No, he does not.
I'm a D1. I'm a D1.
That sounded like a slam. We got band kids.
tour.
Great. Yeah, lots of cool stuff.
Very interesting.
All right, who's getting up in the suit?
To me.
Where's Jamie's head? I see a little hair.
Jamie, you need a step stool?
Somebody need to hold you up?
Okay, well, we didn't get an official sign up for it, but I got two other